Want to estimate the cost of construction, labor, and materials accurately? Today, I'm going to show you 3 methods we're using to accurately estimate those costs for our clients. My name is Daniel Quindamel, founder of IM Builders, and we're a construction consultant and estimating firm, and we work with contractors and developers in growing their businesses. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a strategy that we're using with our clients that's literally exploding their businesses almost overnight. So make sure you stick around. Let's get to it. So back a few years ago, when I was working on the sales for Coroni, which was one of the companies I used to work for, the biggest challenge we had was getting bids out fast. In the perfect world, you'll have weeks to schedule and prepare your bids, but you know that sometimes we only get a limited time to prepare the estimates. So we were forced to develop strategies to improve our speed. These strategies I developed can increase your speed that you estimate the cost of labor and materials in your projects. So the first thing I want to mention is please make sure you're using a digital takeoff software like PlanSwift or Bluebeam. It's going to make your estimating much faster. It's going to be way more accurate than doing it by hand. Just please don't do that. That's just antiquated. So strategy number 1, the unit price method. Step 1 is you're going to go and use one of those digital takeoff softwares and you're going to prepare your takeoff. So the takeoff is your quantities, your square footages, your linear feet, things like that. Once you do that, you're going to figure out your direct labor and material costs. This is the only way to estimate the cost of labor and materials accurately. This is a sample spreadsheet. Most contractors know their costs, like to paint a wall, I charge $1 per square foot, or to hang drywall, I charge $50 per board, but they never really know what their true cost is. So this can be an issue when it comes time to start negotiating. You can literally be blind and you won't know how much room you have to negotiate. So what I'm going to recommend is that you actually take the time to figure out what your direct labor and material cost is. Once you figure out your direct labor and material costs, we're going to add things like supervision, profit, equipment, contingencies, things like that. We're going to put them separately. Now, how do we figure out our direct costs? We're going to use cost books and online databases. So some good ones are National Construction Estimator by Craftsman, RSMeans, Walker, and there's a bunch of other ones. So whichever one you want to use is going to work for you. In our office, we actually use National Construction Estimator by Craftsman. That's the one we use to estimate our projects. Just a little disclaimer, you're still going to need to fine tune your cost based on your actual field conditions. The cost books are going to give you a general cost. But for example, if you're building a 20-foot wall, you're going to need a scissor lift. You're going to have slower productivity, things like that. So you'll actually need to add some labor in this scenario. So the cost books give you like a general price, but you're still going to have to polish them and fine tune them. Now, what if you don't have enough time to prepare a full estimate? That leads me to strategy number 2, the budget method. This is a strategy you can use for last minute bids or when you don't have much time. By the way, if you need help estimating, this is one of our specialties. You can send us your plans and we can prepare your entire estimate and proposal for you. Now, the budget method is a quick way to ballpark and estimate the cost of labor and materials without needing to prepare an actual takeoff. A takeoff could be time consuming and you might not have that much time. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the cost per square foot based on the projects, on similar projects that you've done. For example, if you do a lot of restaurants, figure out your average cost per square foot of building a restaurant. Make a table like this in Excel and get your average costs from some of your previous projects. So the closer in similarity, the more accurate your ballpark estimate's going to be. You see how here we've determined the cost per square foot of your last 12 jobs? This is a made up example, but if it's Friday and you have a bid due Monday and I have to go to my kid's t-ball game, I know I can use $166 a square foot as my ballpark estimate. So you remember, the first bid you submit is typically not the final accepted bid. It's more like a preliminary bid. They always come back asking for a discount or saying they're over budget or they're looking for a lower cost or that your competitor's cheaper than you, something like that. The thing is that this is going to get you negotiating fast. Now, what if you still don't have time and you need something even faster? Strategy number 3 is the rule of 2 method. So labor is typically about 50% of construction costs. The other 50% are things like material, profit, general conditions, your supervision, things like that. So the rule of 2 basically means you're going to calculate your labor the manual way, the way you're probably used to. Like, for example, how many guys times how many days, and you're going to multiply that number by 2. Again, this is a super high level cost, but it's going to get you probably within like 20% plus or minus of where your actual costs need to be. I wouldn't go into a contract with this number, but for like a standard type project, it's a quick way to check pricing. I will put a big cushion and I would just get started with the negotiations. This is going to buy you time. Typically, you're going to go back and forth reviewing the scope and things like that. And you're actually going to have time at that point to estimate that project correctly before a contract even comes up. So the three strategies were, number one, the unit price method, which is it's going to be the most accurate and it's going to get you negotiating fast. Number two, the budget method, which is going to get you some quick wins with minimal time. And the rule of two method, which is going to get you the fastest result. By the way, I mentioned earlier that I had a strategy to explode your business almost overnight. We came up with a system that can literally explode any construction business in the next 90 days. And I prepared a short video training that could literally show you how to land projects on autopilot. So click the link in the description below or visit us at iambuilders.com/training. So good luck, and I hope to help you win more construction projects.